Welcome to the Final Corner podcast. We are back for episode whatever we are, but anyway, the second one of the BTCC season this year. As you can see, we're still unprofessional, and I'm joined by two very professional men, and Tom and Nick. Welcome, gents. How was your weeks?
Yes, all good, sir.
Good. Enjoyed BTCC, but I've never been called professional before.
That's the second time this podcast I've called you professional this year.
It
Um,
is.
I'm bigging you up big style.
It's unfounded.
So, BTCC rounds 4, 5, and 6, or the second weekend from Brands Hatch Indy circuit. First of two visits this year to Brands Hatch. We close the season there on the Grand Prix circuit, as always. Bit of different from the opening weekend. Last week we were speaking about how the BMWs were struggling in straight line speed and were seen quite well off the pace, and then have went and dominated this week with pole position and 3 wins.
Yeah, big difference.
It was very surprising. It was in free practice, I think. Some of the BMWs, was it Rainford was up there?
hmm
And I think he beat a qualifying lap record in free practice. So you never should read into free practice before. I didn't this time, but it did turn out to be an omen or foreshadowing that they'll be very good and absolutely smashed it. Well, all but one.
He smashed a few things.
Oh, yeah, true. Yes, they all smashed it.
Oh dear. Yes. The Scots didn't go well, certainly in qualifying.
They're too far away
No.
from their homeland.
Yeah, can't go that far south. Where is Brands Hatch? Just down,
Down in
It's in,
Kent.
in Kent,
so northeast of London. Is that about right?
south east.
Oh, is it?
hmm
It's even further away.
I think Thruxton's further south, but that otherwise it's the most southerly on the calendar potentially.
hmm
Yeah, Fruxton's
Stonehenge.
Southampton-ish.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know England. Any news?
News update.
There's another car on the grid, and that is huge news. Irrespective
It
of
is.
the circumstance, it means that PMR has been saved. They've got two cars on the grid for the rest of the season. It was emphatically stated that it's Nick Halstead, so I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like he's going to score pole positions anytime soon. He hasn't had any testing in this particular car, though, and apparently the shakedown run where you just drive around an airfield went a bit wrong as well with the car. So,
Mhm.
zero expectations for this round. Um, Having said that, he outqualified Gordon Shedden.
Oh, yes. Uh, wasn't Gordon's
Kind of.
best season so far, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we'll dip into that. But the news is Halstead, isn't it? And I think it's wonderful that he's on the grid and PMR's got another Astra. So it's a
hmm
strong number of cars this year, despite the difficult financial circumstances and manufacturers like BMW withdrawing their support or most of the support. And it was the hard tyre and the soft tyre, which is a big difference in tyres. I'm not sure about that, but anyway.
Yeah, I still find it weird because I'm sure it's always only ever used at Thruxton. I'm sure they never used to mix the hard and the soft together. But I could be wrong about that.
Only qualifying then. And as we said, it was BMW domination. At the top end, it was Jake Hill with Charles Rainford, the rookie, claiming an impressive P2. And there was Adam Morgan, formerly of BMW, third and fourth with Tom Ingram, his teammate, alongside. And quite a bit of a drop off from Napa. Ash Sutton down in 13th and Dan Robotham in 14th. Now,
Yeah,
as you
they
guys mentioned, Shedden 24th out of 25 runners.
Hmm.
Not good.
No, the Nappers definitely was not as competitive as they were at Donington, but also the lack of boost for them wasn't helping too much. Don't think it was all to do with that.
I think the boost had a major effect in qualifying, even at Brands, except Ingram is up there in fourth.
Mhm.
I don't get it. That car looks rapid. It looks basically glued to the ground and super quick in a straight line. Fair play to
Yeah,
him, the engineer and the team. That is one heck of a package. And if it's an engine advantage, well, everybody else's engines, and including theirs, are frozen now.
Yes.
So that is that. You need to get a Hyundai. It's probably what Restart Racing was thinking. Because I
Yeah.
think if you look at everyone else who's higher up the championship, they're kind of struggling. I think Camish has done a great job there
Hmm.
to be fifth, but then you've got the likes of, this is going to sound quite mean, but you've got Sam Osborne in seventh, which might be his best qualifying ever. De Leon, who, okay, we've seen WSR are quick at this round, but he's still getting used to rear-wheel drive touring cars. Stephen Jelly in 12th, out qualifying Cook considerably. Incredible performance. I do think some of the boosts affected because then you've got like the likes
Hmm.
of Cook and Chilton and Shedden, who were quicker than this first round, far down there as well. So, although I do think Shedden's problems were a bit more than that, he missed most of FP1 because I think he put it in the gravel.
Hmm.
That didn't help.
No, he just never looked quick in quali either. He didn't seem
No,
to have any particular problems in quali. Just
nope.
couldn't get the speed out of the car.
Now there are, because this unique qualifying system, which I'm not
Hmm.
bashing because I quite like it. There were three cars ahead of him that were slower than him on the grid. But even then, it should have. 21st is still not good enough. Slowest Toyota. Although there is something going on with that car. Only once again, Pearson is the quickest qualifier by a
Mm.
substantial margin. You look at Aaron Taylor Smith, and you can't help but think, wouldn't it be quicker in the Astra?
Yeah.
So I think that speaks volumes to where the car's set up at the minute, or development. Maybe not up to speed with some other cars on the grid. Hard to say from the outside looking in. There's something awry there.
Our final piece of qualifying, what did we settle on? Was it Hall Monitor, Hall Watch,
I think we'll go with Hall Watch.
Hall Watch, Hall Watch?
19th, he didn't go particularly well. Didn't have the best weekend overall, to be honest, but still learning.
Yeah, yeah. He's quite a punchy little character, isn't he?
We'll get to
Nearly
that.
literally at one point.
Yes, so straight on to race one, and everyone in the top 10 starts on the soft tyre, trying to get off to a good start of the weekend. And Jake Hill keeps the lead off the start with Rainford behind. Tom Ingram gets ahead of Adam Morgan very easily to take P3. And Dan Camish had a brilliant battle with Mikey Doble. Unfortunately, Doble then lost a position to Sam Osborne behind, but it was a good fight. It was a good, interesting start.
Yeah, it's a nice little scrap. It's always good to see that. I do like that about this track that you can go side by side through pretty much all of it if the people are willing to let you.
Yeah, there was a few sketchy moments, wasn't there, all through the weekend.
Mm.
Mikey Doble managed to get past Sam Osborne again, and we get the inevitable, the unluckiest man in the world. Dan Lloyd gets a 5 second penalty for, I think it was an out position start, was it?
Yeah, I think it was Klaus's jump start, but yeah, I think it was. He was just a bit too far forward.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of it on his vlog, which are now coming out every Tuesday evening after each round. I think at 6 or 6:30 p.m. So set time. That's his plan. And he has like a fun picture of the picture he was sent of him, and the splitters over the line.
Mm. What can you do?
Kind of maybe put him in a position that's not ideal for the next race.
Surely they could put like a parking camera on the front bumper. It can't be that heavy, so they can actually see inside the car.
It
There
seems to
is-
be an issue this season. There's quite a few drivers picking
Yeah.
these up.
Aye, it's something's going on there.
Do you remember when Jason Plato got caught at Brands Hatch and he did a full 5 minute explanation about how someone put some tape in the wrong place on a wall and
Yep.
it clearly wasn't his fault?
Yeah, yeah, I do miss those diatribes.
Yes,
Everyone's a bit
yes.
too polished.
Yeah, yeah. Even the post-race interviews with a few of the rookies we'll get to, I didn't think were overly exciting.
Yes, I did like the comment from Steve Ryder as well, when they said about how Charles Rainford is like a posher Tom Ingram, and then again, can you get posher than Tom Ingram?
Well, speaking of
no.
Rainford, I think it was an amazing performance. Like it was
Mm.
quite a dry race up front. The gap ebbed and flowed. You thought maybe, is Ingram going to catch up with Morgan? They kind of did, but then there was some boost reserves for the BMWs, or maybe they were looking after tyres, and it seems like they were able to control it. Amazing turnaround, but what an amazing, irrespective of what else happens, a great performance from Rainford to stay on the coattails of Hill and at times look to maybe challenge him.
Yeah, and they've been on pretty similar pace all weekend as well.
Mm.
Irrespective of what tyres and boost levels they're on, they've been very close. Um, I expected Rainford to be quick this season, but not yet.
I think it's fantastic because I think there is a hole still left by Colin Turkington, but
Hmm.
this again just goes to show where people look at I've never heard these names. Well, as soon as if they're quick and competitive, you'll soon know their name, and it is all of a sudden a new star, and that's really good for the series.
Exactly.
Also, there was a debate as to the two Hyundai's Accelerate Virtue entries. Are sort of, are they going to back off to try and finish in fourth? But I don't think that happened because,
No.
of course, the person in fourth would have to use, third would have to use a hard tire in the next one. But
Yeah, I think Morgan insinuated that he wasn't that bothered about trying to pass Ingram because of it, but I don't think there was any sort of games going on with it.
Not a whole lot to say about the rest of this race, to be honest.
well, there was a lot of onboards of for 19th place. You're sort of thinking, okay,
Yeah.
certainly Chilton and Shedden and Moffat and Rowbottom actually
Hmm.
under the radar down in 18th there didn't really do anything or move anywhere.
No, it was really just Moffat repeating his qualifying spin, but not beaching it this time.
Oh, he went wide, didn't he? Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, we should have mentioned that in qualifying. He beached it. Yeah, that's why he
Yeah,
was far down.
yeah, because he had his lap time taken away. He would have been through to the next stage of quali without that.
Yep. Also red
Um,
flag.
and Max Hall did do quite a nice pass on Tom Chilton. Pretty sure he then dropped back after that, though.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
That's quite a forceful one,
Yes, which I do like to see.
because most of them seem to be from Maxwell.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. It's exciting.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get to that.
And you can tell what car he is, unlike the Toyotas. I've got no clue who's driving what.
Yes, that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not liking the liveries this year for some reason. And also, two of the Napa cars changed the livery to go like a dark green and gold for this round as well. So
Oh, I
when
think you might be a bit colourblind there, Colin.
I am colorblind, but it was
Ah,
black
okay.
and gold or something.
Black.
It was. I think it was only Sutton, though, wasn't it?
It was just something, yeah. For
Yeah,
100
yeah.
years, no, 100 somethings.
Yeah, it was 100 years of Napa.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also 100 podiums, as he pointed out. That,
Yeah, he got it in
himself
there.
had got.
Yeah,
He
he
did,
tied it in there. Yeah, fair play. Fair play, Ash.
Nick Hamilton retired. We saw him off the road at one point on the exit of the final corner. Yeah, most people finish within two or three positions they were started. Not a lot of movement. I was expecting a big recovery from Ash Sutton, but no one was really going anywhere. So he only got from 13th to 10th, and then this. Josh Cook is the one that I keep looking at and going, come on, do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just watching the timing tower going, Cook and Shedden, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected some more movement from all of them, but yeah, didn't really happen.
They were on the hard tire in this race, so they got rid of that. Because as we'll cover now in the second race of the day, the hard tire was significantly slower.
Yes. Although before that, we need to cover Hall Watch again, for what it was worth today. 23rd, no points.
Yep, not good. New lap record though from Charles Rainford.
Mm.
That lasted about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Still impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, race two. Jake Hill gets a decent getaway again, and he's leading from Rainford. Aaron Morgan gets a poor start and drops down a few positions. Dan Camish gets a good move on Tom Ingram.
Yeah, that was nice. It was, I like the way he didn't let him settle in. He just went straight in there. Go for it.
And then there's a massive gaggle of cars that are just constantly bashing each other up.
Good stuff.
Yeah. That's what we like to see, though.
It all starts with Osborne, though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I mean, to be fair, there was three wide, and I don't think that they realised there were three wide. But Dan Lloyd, as usual, he's the one who loses out.
Apparently, Donington, when he went off the grass and he hit like a divot, it was 30 G's or something. They had to build the whole new front subframe or something
really?
crazy. Yeah, it really damaged it underneath. So a very expensive repair between rounds.
Well, the lap six crash was the one that sends Dan Lloyd into the grass, and it looks like, yeah, I think Osborne gets a poor exit out of Graham Hill, panics and tries to cut across the front of Mikey Doble, Doble's got a Toyota on the inside.
Yep.
Yeah, Pearson.
Yeah, so they're almost four wide, so there's a bit of contact with Doble, spins Osborne who catches it, and poor Dan Lloyd just comes out of nowhere.
I would also say that Osborne is like trying to catch it. Fair play for holding it. Could have been a John George accident, but it takes two or three attempts. And I think Doble's trying to react as if might be spinning because he moves right the way across the track, and that's what biffs off Lloyd.
Yeah, big winner of that was Ingram.
It was, yeah.
He managed to get all of them in one go. Because he gets, I think, two or three positions.
Aye,
out of
and he's
all
on the
that.
grass a bit there, so that could have been very dodgy.
I think without that, he would have finished a lot further down in this race.
Yes, so in this race, he's on the hard, and he's, I think, compared to the two BMWs of Rainford and Hill, really struggling in the early stages. Later on, it all comes undone for the BMWs, right? But
Yes.
he's dropping down to like 10th, 11th at one point, right?
Yeah, at this point, that's pretty much where he was. And then he got back up past those few cars.
Yep.
They pretty much all got past him again. But that lap or two grace that he got meant that he wasn't then battling the other cars behind him.
Yeah.
So I think he would have been potentially at the points, I think, without that little scrap going on there.
I agree.
Then we get a proper crash. And is it teammates? Hall
Yes.
Patterson.
It is.
So
Both
Max
limited
Hall and Dexter
motorsport.
Patterson. We never actually see the incident, but we get an on board of the lap prior.
We
Yeah,
do
I
see
think-
the incident, actually.
Oh, I've never seen it.
It
Ah.
was shown pre-race 3, but only from on board of both drivers.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Well,
it's hard to judge without the exterior shot. But yeah, I fortuitously was going to fast forward through the whole bit in between race 2 and 3. I was like, oh, what's this? And it's like the judiciary cameras.
Yeah, it's very hard to see from that because if you look at Patterson's on board, then Patterson dives down the inside of Hall and takes him out. If you look at, if you look at Hall's on board, that is. If you look on Patterson's on board, he goes for the line and Hall turns in on him.
Yeah.
But that appears to be what the stewards have decided because they gave Max Hall quite a hefty reprimand and penalty for it. He's got three place grid penalty, 2 penalty points, and an official reprimand for that.
Oof.
But on his Instagram feed, Max Hall did own up to it and say that he was trying to basically cut back under Dexter, but misjudged it and went into the side of him. So fair
It
play
looks
for
like
owning up to it.
Yeah, it does look like that. Good research there, Nick.
yeah, well done.
It is. Patterson looks like he's got the move done, isn't going to run wide, and Hall clips his like left rear, which then spins him across the front of him like this. But then afterwards, bit of handbags at dawn.
Yes. From both, to be fair, I think.
Yeah, Patterson marches across, and I think the commentators were like, "Oh, just gonna have a chat."
Yeah,
Whoa.
I know.
But if you watch it back carefully, when Patterson goes up to Hall, he bashes
Yes.
helmets. He bashes
Exactly,
helmets.
yeah. He goes straight into the face and then he's pushed away. I don't think there was anything more than that.
No. I mean, I'd love to have heard what they said,
But they're both young and they're both quite feisty, so we can imagine.
I quite enjoy it. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Last time I saw that was, I don't know, I can't remember who. I've got a feeling it was Josh Cook and Jake Hill at Thruxton quite a few years ago. And they both crashed and retired coming out of Seagrave. And Jake Hill stormed out of the car and was trying to get to Cook, and the marshal's holding him back. And you know, Jake Hill's quite animated and diminutive, and he's just going absolutely mental like this. Fantastic. Again, I don't know if it's on the YouTube anywhere, but
Probably somewhere.
yeah. So he didn't actually make it to him because the marshal was, bigger person holding him back.
So we get a safety car out of all that, and then the second unluckiest man in the world, Dan Camish, just
Oh,
as the safety car's peeling in, his car completely conks out, which then causes a gag-off car behind him to slam on the brakes. Aaron Moffat hits him. There's all sorts of carnage with cars out of position, and the safety car has to immediately come back out despite just pitting. And that's the end of Dan Camish's race.
Yeah, he did own up to the fact that it was his mistake as well. It wasn't a car issue; it was a driver issue.
he turned off the ignition, didn't he, by accident?
He did.
And
I
then
mean,
and then you can't restart it immediately because he has to go through like maybe it's hot or some sort of cycle. And
yes, and
by
by the
that point,
time
he'd got driven into.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, fair play for him to own up. He didn't have to do that. He could have just there was some issue, but you know,
yeah, that's why he was able to like move it a bit, and then thought, oh, I better park it because the suspension is really badly damaged.
hmm
Um, yeah, disaster, and it's double hits him, I think. And in my opinion, don't think the Astros are that healthy after that point because there's a shot where it's going around one of the corners,
yeah,
and it's really leaning over. And I'm wondering if parts of the suspension were damaged, and then doesn't Doble have a spin later on as well? Ren, a bit weirdly.
Yeah, yeah, he
hmm
unfortunately went quite close to Aidan Moffat. So,
Ah,
Aidan,
yes,
that effect.
yes,
yeah.
Aidan Moffat dutifully spun him round. So that was the
Ah,
end of
okay.
Doble's day.
Sorry for attributing that to you, Mikey, and maybe suspension failure if it was Aiden, but it didn't
Yeah,
seem as quite as quick after that anyway.
Mm.
yeah, it was definitely an Aidan Moffat assist on that one.
It was.
So at the restart, though, we got a change at the lead. Daryl DeLeon makes a brilliant move immediately, which gets him past Jake Hill.
Mm.
And he takes the lead for his first time he's ever led a Grand Prix, not Grand Prix, a BTCC race.
It's a Grand Prix in our minds.
It's a
Exactly.
world championship as well, we've
Yeah.
It
decided.
is.
So yeah, that was a brilliant move, De Leon. No fear at all. And then the BMWs just go backwards. The hard running BMWs. So Hill and Rainford just start dropping like stones.
Yeah, and I'm pleased it worked out like this because I think if De Leon had played the team game and sat behind his teammates to try and help them, I think it would have just been carnage because those hard tires were so much slower.
Yeah.
So it ended up. My first thought was, oh, that's a bit risky on your potentially championship um, challenging teammate, but it was the right move and it was a nice move.
Yeah.
It was confusing because I wasn't sure if he was on hard tire. The commentary team weren't either. I'm not blaming him for making a mistake. They clearly didn't have the info to hand, or it wasn't clear enough, certainly on the TV screen tower for viewers. And then obviously, if you go, oh well, he's in a BMW and Rainford and Hill are on hards and he's on softs, then he should naturally go past him because the hard
hmm
is such a big difference of tire compound. Whereas it felt like, oh, Adam Morgan's the leader of the soft tires for quite a while, and he wasn't
Now, who was the
Yeah.
other person on softs? Was it? Oh, Dorlin. That was it. Apart from that, it was just the top three.
on hards.
On
hmm
hard.
Sorry, yes, on hards.
Yeah. Yeah. Morgan came home in P2, but it showed you that the two hard runners went from first and second down to seventh and eighth, with Hill finishing behind Rainford. But yeah, it was some decent passes, but you could see that they were struggling. So every time they tried to fight, they lost a bunch of positions.
hmm
I'm not
Anything else
sure
you want
about.
back out?
Well, I'm just not sure about. Is the difference between those two tire compounds too much? I don't know. It provided some racing action, and if you look at race one, it could have just been like that for 3 races. So I suppose
hmm
maybe not.
Yeah, it's a hard one to call, isn't it? It's because we don't know what the differential was between the soft and the medium either. 'Cause
Yeah,
we never got
exactly
to
that.
see it.
Hmm.
Yeah, Ingram had he had a mid-race recovery and then immediately lost it all and ended up finishing 11th as well.
Which
hmm
it could have been a lot worse. So
Yeah. Anyone else didn't know?
well, Cook actually was on form here on the softs and carved through a lot of other drivers on soft and finished
hmm
sixth. Not spectacular, but some form of recovery. And I thought, oh, if he gets good on the reverse grid draw, but not really.
How are you feeling about your Josh Cook
Well,
drivers
that's why
champion?
I reference it because I'm now listening to the BTC put up on their podcast feed like these little 1 minute interviews after each race with like the top 3 or 4 drivers,
Hmm.
and it was either Cook or Jelly were one of them. Even though they weren't in the top 3, they had an interview, and it's gone from the preseason optimism of Jason Plato retweeting an onboard lap to well, you've got to remember the team's had a year away. That was said.
Hmm.
Oh, you got to remember
Oh
we're not
dear.
used to this tire compound because that was new last year. Okay, you've got to give us till we're just learning now at each track. So all those not excuses, but all those reasons have come to the fore now, which I
Hmm.
think are valid. But obviously, I got caught up in the preseason testing hype, which is stupid.
It's just wishful thinking, isn't it? We all want Cook to do well.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
I wouldn't worry because I'm feeling worse about my Gordon Shedden prediction.
Oh, is that who you said?
It wasn't the best.
Oh, I feel
No,
bad. I feel bad. I was really hoping he
Although
would get into the top 12 here, because then that changes your weekend, or could do, but
he
wasn't
did
quick enough.
gain a few places in
He
this
did.
race.
He did.
Still didn't get in the points, but 16th from where was he in the first race? 19th?
Yeah, far down.
No, 21st. So
yeah, and 3 cars in front of him did fall off.
true.
And Mikey Doble. What happened to him? Did he get a puncture?
No, he was Moffited.
Yeah, he
Oh,
got
so he
aimed.
was, yeah. He
Although
did.
if I
So
watch it
he,
back, it's really hard to tell if there's contact or not. It's very strange.
He definitely was contact, but what I
Yeah.
don't know is was it he was just slow through the corner?
There's no warning
That's what I can't
or
tell.
steward's decision, is there at all?
No, that's what makes me wonder.
Yep.
And one thing that is interesting actually this year, they mentioned it on commentary, is that because there's no hybrid, any contact on the front end of the cars isn't so bad because there used to be the cooling systems for the hybrid in the front of the car. And
Oh.
now that's no longer there, so they can get away with a bit more front end.
As Ada Moffat tested in race 3.
Exactly, yeah.
yes, Aiden. Right, we'll get to him.
Yes.
So, reverse grid draw put Dan Rowbottom on P1, Jake Hill P2. Very, very fortunate boy there.
Hmm.
Which again put him on for a second podium of the weekend if he could hold it. They're all on the soft tyres. The first hard runner is Adam Morgan in P8, and he's got Dillon and Pearson behind him on hards. Creasy, I've not spoke about him yet. He's on the hards as well. And our boy Max Hall, who obviously DNF'd the last race after his
Mm.
crash, he starts very back on the soft tires as well.
Yeah. He actually started 24th because Patterson had to start from the pits. And there was one thing actually I found out from also from Max's Instagram. He had a differential issue for the first 2 races, which they managed to fix for the third race, which does explain some of his slower pace.
Oh, interesting.
So on to the race start, and it's a very, very good start for Jake Hill. He gets a brilliant launch and he gets round outside of Dan Rowbottom. They fight for about half a lap, but Rowbottom manages to keep the lead, which I thought was quite impressive. I just got the feeling that Rowbottom's a bit off the pace, and he kind of knows it.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was feeling ill this weekend, but I don't know what with.
It was in qualifying in particular, he had a migraine. Which if it's a proper migraine, I'm surprised he could even drive the car.
Yep.
Because when you have those, your brain just shuts down pretty much. It's horrible. But yeah, as for the Sunday, I don't know if he still had the same problem or what.
It was just referenced once in commentary under the weather, something like this.
Mhm.
Yeah. And all that fighting with Hill then allowed Charles Rainford to get past, going into clearways, which I thought was a very good move.
Mm.
And he quite quickly then gets past Dan Rowbottom. Bit forceful, slightly forceful. What do we think?
I like it from a rookie to send it. Normally, it takes a year to build up courage, I think, to make a overtake like that for a podium position. But it's on the edge in terms of cleanliness.
It is. I still can't decide if he went in on the grass, so he hit the curb and bounced over, or if Rowbottom was leaning him into the grass, which put him on the curb, which bounced over. I can't decide. But once again, the stewards had a decision on it, but which I thought was a strange one because they issued him a formal reprimand for gaining an unfair advantage. Whether I like the wording, whether inadvertently or not. But if they decide that it's that, why didn't they give him a penalty?
It's
Mm.
slightly
It's
strange, isn't it?
mhm.
If you gain a position off track or unfairly, and it's spoiler, it ends up being for the race win. Um, it seems a bit strange.
It is, and I
Not
should
giving
say I
anything.
think it was, as Tom said, forceful and on the edge, but not worthy of a penalty. But it seems strange to give a reprimand. It could just really be it's either a penalty or you don't get anything for it. I feel that.
Yep.
I don't know if I mentioned, but Daryl De Leon won the last race.
I
Oh,
know. I
we
was
didn't
just
actually mention
thinking
it.
that actually.
Well done.
I mean, yeah, it's brilliant. And I'm assuming he is the first Filipino driver to win a BTCC race. Don't know for a fact, but I can't remember there ever being any others.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
not going to bother fact checking it. I'll just agree
Uh,
No,
with you on that one. You're
that's
probably
definitely the
right.
case. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So well done him. Um, what else happens? Well, we get a little Cook Ingram Sutton fight, which is quite nice.
yeah, that was
It's
nice to see.
it's mainly from about halfway in, Hill's on for the win, but doesn't make it. Very surprising.
Yeah, I think there's reasons for that though. Because he had less boost to play with, and it definitely seemed to be he was using his boost up earlier, and so he was using it to catch up. Because every time that he was on the boost, he was right on the backside of Rainford, and then the next lap, Rainford was using the boost and was pulling out another second and a bit. And I think that was literally the main thing that kept it for him.
But I also think, yeah, I agree. Sorry, but Rainford drove very well, very cleanly. Didn't look up, I don't think. The only demerit I would say was he went a bit too defensive too early sometimes,
Yes.
and I thought Hill was very, very polite there.
Yeah. As apparently he wasn't too impressed with some of his moves in the first race, apparently. Hill wasn't. Not in a bad way, but he felt like he should have been holding position more, but they're all in it for themselves.
Yeah, well, different sponsors.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he did Graham Hill, didn't he? A couple of times, like pulled over, and I'm like, oh, you're 2 car lengths early there, but fine.
It's all
That's sort of
experience. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
uh, we'll go on to him. So he has
Oh,
four goes taking off Ash Sutton. So Sutton maintains, I think he maintains the position rather than overtaking into Paddock Hill. And Sutton's on the inside, Moff's on the outside. Sutton gets a little slide after hitting the curb as they're coming down the hill. And then, there's one. And Moffat tries to put him in the barrier. There's two. Moffat tries to put him in the barrier. There's
Yep.
three. And there's four. He tries to put him in the barrier again. And then Sutton pulls away, and Aiden's got a smashed up front of his car. What are you doing?
exactly. Yeah.
There's four good attempts there to spin Ash Sutton, and yeah, I'm surprised that no one. Well, the commentators picked up on it, but I'm surprised they didn't get any sort of a warning because that was a bit naughty from Aiden.
Didn't he actually get a
He did.
Oh,
driving
did he?
standards flag?
He got
Or
a
was that
driving
in another
standards
race?
flag in race, which I haven't seen in British touring cars ever, or certainly recently, other than track limits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and because all the others said specifically for track limits at a particular turn, whereas he just got a driver
Yeah,
warning flag.
it's nearly when you go in go kart and you nearly got put in the sin bin.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, the
No, because
calm
if you
down.
keep going, then that's black flag the next step, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is, yeah, and I do think Sutton was slow because he didn't
Yeah,
seem to have the pace in this race.
can't
But
drive through him though.
that's not a reason to keep. It wasn't even tapping in the back though, was it? It was trying to push him round almost. It's like mini pit maneuvers.
yeah, he had him sideways twice, and so two at the four contacts almost spun Sutton. And fair play to Ash for keeping ahead of him at that point and getting away as far away as he could from the mental Pfeiffer. So yeah, that was a Ingram starts to make some decent moves. He gets past Moffat fairly cleanly, and then manages to get Sutton as well. Jake Hill gets past Robot, as you said, started chasing down Rainford, but couldn't make it stick. Kind of backed off like 5 laps to go.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe too much because then in came Ingram.
Yes.
Well, that was well, yeah, that was the Max Hall incident, wasn't it?
Oh yes, of course. I'd forgotten
Mm,
all about Max Hall being a lap down with a puncher, and that was rather
yeah,
unfortunate. The camera sort of cut away a bit too early as well, didn't it? So you couldn't see the full.
yeah. I mean, he was off at Paddock Hill Bend the lap before, presumably just from the amount of dust that was in the air. What I don't know is if he's off caused the puncher or the puncher caused the off. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know that. But yeah, unfortunately, he was trying to get in the pits and then realised that the car was inside of him. I mean, you could say he should have been on the inside of the track there, but with a puncher, it's
Tricky.
hard to position the car, I suppose. But
He's got a
yeah,
front
it's
left
not
puncher, so he's
ideal.
probably run wide a bit. He turns in for the pits, and I think he does. If he doesn't, it's millimeters clip the back of Rainford. And then I think he's like, oh, there's cars here, but Hill's right
Hmm.
there. He has to brake and swerve. What I don't know and why it cut away too early is when the camera pans away at that point, it doesn't look like Hull's going to go into the gravel. But he somehow does. So maybe he just obviously just couldn't turn right at that point.
Yeah, it seems a strange thing to do, but obviously he is inexperienced. But I don't know whether he got hit at all or
Yeah,
if
I'd
he
love to
just
see
thought I can't get in
Ingram's
the
on
pits
board for
now
it.
and just stopped.
I think it might have been that, because then you
Mhm.
can't. Oh, I need to do a whole another lap on a puncher. It's going to
Yeah.
damage things, isn't it? But it was quite surprising how there was no safety car at that point, I felt. Even though I know it's 2 laps from the end, you can always add on 5 laps extra.
Yes. It was a bit odd, but it's one of
Very
those things,
dangerous.
isn't it? Last couple of laps of a touring car race, yeah, we'll let it go.
Aye, but Creasy was upside down there. I know a slightly different layout, but
It crazy. So down the midfield, I guess there's some good fights where Dan Rowbottom just starts going backwards. He gets roughed off a couple of times from Smiley. They ends up losing the possession, then immediately loses out to his teammate Ash Sutton. The move that Ingram put on him, I thought he opened the door way too easily. And it was almost like, I know you're going past, I just don't want to fight.
Yeah.
it was a bit.
So it was slightly odd. I think, where does he end up finishing? Seventh, I think, at the
Ninth.
end. Or was it ninth? So yeah, he loses a bunch of positions.
Oh, well, unless there were time penalties and stuff. But yeah,
No,
ninth.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that is just
So
where he finished.
Ingram manages to clear all that, obviously, and catches right up to the back of Jake Hill for P2. Penultimate lap, he makes a big move around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. And then slightly late, I think Hill closes the door.
Mm.
Just about okay, I think.
I
Or
think
you,
so, yeah. He definitely moves over when Ingram has a bumper alongside,
yes,
but
it's
you see
it's
that a lot
quite
there.
yeah, but it was just about okay. And on the final lap, it looks like Ingram's got him. He goes around outside at turn one, but Hill's still there on the inside, and there's contact as they go up to Druids, and it allows Jake Hill to go back through to take P2. Thoughts on that contact?
Yeah, he lets the car. I think, what does he let it or does he just go out? But that was definitely a "you are not going past me" kind of defense, which is nothing wrong with, I don't think.
I also think Tom was trying to turn in a little bit too keenly there.
Yeah,
I mean, I suppose you have to if you're going around the outside there. So
mm,
anyway, I thought it was absolutely fine, just hard racing.
So your top three at the end of all of that is Charles Rainford, the rookie, getting a win on just his second BTCC weekend. Very impressive.
Yeah, well done.
Jake Hill, P2, and Tom Ingram, P3, setting a new lap record.
Hall watch didn't really happen so much because it was gravel watch at that point.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, he finished in the gravel 6 laps down. But I'll say it was a better performance in that race. Just obviously it all went wrong with the puncher. But it was great to see the BMWs winning all 3 races after the performance they had at Donington. And we just have to see what happens at Snetterton now. Where is the performance going to be? Is it going to be the BMWs, the Hyundais, or the Fords?
It's a long circuit.
Mm.
There's long straights, but also lots of corners that are tight. So impossible to judge, really.
Yeah, all I can say for sure is Sutton will not be on pole. I don't think with his lack of boost for that track.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
Ingram hasn't won a race yet. That's
exactly.
that's the thing. Not that he's not doing well. I just mean he's that little bit of extra for not only winning the races, but obviously leading the laps and things like that. You get the points for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Ingram's
also
had 5 podiums out of 6.
yeah,
mm,
that's true.
yeah. There was an article by Marcus Simmons of Autosport, which was, why is Ingram now the favourite even though he's not won yet and doesn't lead the points? But he looks the quickest
Yeah,
in every
'cause
race.
his car looks on rails.
Yeah, and if you look at this round, so race one, Ingram got third, or Sutton was on hard tyres. Then when they flipped the tyres around, Sutton got a third.
Hmm.
Then in the final race, Ingram manages third, but Sutton's right behind him, even though 5 seconds behind down the road, it's
Yeah.
still fourth. So there's only a small points difference there. And then the only difference is when they're on the hard tyres, Ingram managed to be better there. He finished eighth, whereas Sutton finished 10th.
Yes, but I suppose the difference there was Sutton started 13th and Ingram started third
Yes,
in those
exactly.
two hard races.
So
So
the low key top performance of the weekend might be Sutton finishing 10th on hards.
Mhm.
Yeah.
although for me the top performance is Charles Rainford.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Of course.
Spectacular. 2 podiums, including a win on his second ever weekend, the BTCC. Very well done, especially when he's got more experienced teammates alongside him
Yeah,
who
Moffat should be
didn't
doing
quite do
better,
it.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Despite
fourth
all
best
his...
driver. Sorry, Con.
No, I was going to say, despite all his assaults in that race, he still finished 8th, so slightly better result for him. Right, okay. Max Hall, I think he said DNF, didn't he?
Yeah.
So the standings are now Sutton, Ingram, Hill, your top three, 92, 87, and 80, the points. Gap opening up already to fourth place, Tom
Yeah.
Chilton. You do miss the proper reverse grid ballast nonsense because
Hmm.
it'd have been a bit tighter for quite longer in the season. Josh Cook, again, a pre-season pick, sitting in 12th, and Gordon Shedden 15th.
I would like to shout out to Chris Smiley for getting two solid results and then a fourth in the final, fifth in race three.
Hmm.
That's solid, and that means that he's absolutely smashing the independence table again.
Oh
That
yeah.
was the one we all were like, "Oh well, it's Cook." Nope, he's third at the minute.
Yes, Chris Smiley's 3 independent wins. Mikey Dobos 3 independent wins as well.
Mm.
So that's an interesting championship to watch. Vertu leads the teams, Restart leads the independent teams, the constructors is Hyundai Accelerate, and the Jack Sears, Daryl De Leon, following his win there at the weekend as well. And Dan Camish leads the Wingfoot Trophy for qualifying.
And I don't think we mentioned it before properly last BTCC episode, but it's still a bit awkward when they hand out an individual wing foot for qualifying. But I suppose
Yes.
Formula One gives you what is it, a signed tyre?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, fine.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Camish that got it at the
The
first
first one.
race?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And he was like, "That'll be on my mental piece for a week." Then goes in the loft.
Yeah. What a great response.
No. Don't disrespect the Wingfoot. Come
Sorry,
on,
sorry.
not having it.
It was Dan
So,
Camish who said it, not us.
It was. And he then did pull back straight away and just be like, "Oh, not that I don't like it. It's just I don't have the room."
Yeah, I know. And it's like this. It's tiny.
yeah. So our pick, well, who was our pick for the Jack Sears? I was De Leon, Tom was Pearson, Nick was De Leon. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're looking pretty good so far. Nick Halstead and Nick Hamilton are the only two drivers without a point yet. Everyone else has got at least 5. So keep an eye on them. Where are we next for the BTCC?
Snetterton.
Norfolk.
Also not too far away from me. Couple of hours.
Yeah, I've never been to Snetterton actually. Probably the only one on this calendar I've not been to.
I have been to Snetterton, just not for a proper race weekend. Just happened to go there when there
Oh
was some
yeah,
testing going on.
yeah, true. I've been to Thruxton, but never during a racing weekend.
Hmm.
Does it still count? Or do you not count it?
Not really, no.
Well, it doesn't really count, but at least
I
I've
mean, Johnny Herbert was testing an F1 Lotus. So
I
that's
don't.
what,
I don't think
early
you were born,
90s?
Colin.
I'm an early 90s boy. That's fine. I probably was alive during then.
It was weird though because it was an open test day. So on the same track there was an F1 car. I seem to remember Cleland and Allen were driving around as well in the Cavaliers, and there was also someone driving around in a 2CV, which was hilarious. Seeing
I don't know
that
if
do one lap and the other car's doing 15 in the same time.
don't know if it still exists. I should really Google it, but certainly there used to be a very strong 2CV championship, and in particular 24-hour 2CV races. That's necessary. So probably testing for that.
Yeah. What was I was so young, I don't know if I remember this, but I'm sure they were all on track at the same time though. Like F1 cars, everything else.
Probably. No, you're probably right.
But maybe it wasn't. But I do remember the noise of it because that would have been the V10 era.
Wow. There was one running at Donington for the historic weekend before last, and I just couldn't make it down through various circumstances. But there was a V10 Williams going around, like 2001, and some other classic stuff and some old touring cars. Yeah.
So not only Snetterton hosts a 24-hour 2CV race, Spa Francorchamps also hosts one as well. So there you go. Last year the 2CV 24 hours was in August. So
Still
Spa
going, eh?
just doesn't have the same pedigree as Snetterton, does it?
No,
no,
the
not quite.
snet round is the pinnacle.
The bad thing is they were charging £18 an adult to get in to watch it as well. So
Oh, not. I thought that was the driving price.
Probably.
yes. So yeah, again, end of August this year. So if you've got nothing else to do on the 24th of August, there you go. Right. So Snetterton next. We've got F1 first, don't we?
Think
We
so.
are back at Imola this weekend.
I think is it
Oh,
three
yes.
rounds back to back.
Yep. So we'll be back next week with our Romagna, Premio Italy something
Yes. something.
Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So we'll be back with that before we come back with the touring cars. So thank you very much. Any more for you guys?
Nope.
No, that's it.
Right, that'll do us. If you enjoyed this, subscribe. If you didn't enjoy this, still subscribe because we could do with the numbers. And we'll see you again next week. Bye.
See you later.
See ya.